I'm Lynn, and here's what's happening at Utopia Farms today.
We're going to go mow hay right now. Kind of checking out cutting hay. And I'm hoping that that will keep the axle a little straight. Hopefully I have some luck, because I haven't had very much luck lately. We are cutting hay, so that's looking really good. Just started cutting. Orchard grass and alfalfa work pretty good together. That feels almost as good as Iowa in the USA.
So let's get started.
So we're going to be hopefully cutting hay, second cut today. Let you know how that turns out. Got the mower ready. And the skid steer is supposed to be here shortly. If they got it back together, if everything turned out well, because I'm not going to cut hay unless I have that skid steer in the yard to stack the bales. 3 raccoons here last night, eating in my bags, and they ate off the peanut butter and went right through the trap and never got caught. So they have a little bit of intelligence, I guess. Anyways, better get going with chores. We're gonna go mow hay right now, and as you can see, it's not too good up in the sky there, but they say no rain, so I'm gonna mow hay, see how the second cut is, get out to the field, and I'll let you know how that turns out, see what kind of quality is, because yeah, I'm about 10 days late with that second cut, which is probably pretty critical. It's going to be a little coarser than I like to have it, but I've had so many problems today. But they're promising me that the skid steer is done right now and it will be delivered in the morning. So I'm going to cut hay relying on that skid steer will be here. If it's not here, probably won't be making a video. Talk to you later. It's probably a mistake, but it's quite cloudy right now, and I kind of chickened out cutting hay. I still think I might cut in an hour. It's just that so cloudy, I don't know where these clouds are coming from. But in the meantime, I'm just keeping myself busy. I'm just going to show you what I did here. So like I said, I got 2 brand new tires, and this axle is sagging a little bit. So it just slides. That groove doesn't mean too much. We just replaced the bolts a year ago. It didn't make any difference. I'm thinking these holes are a little worn maybe. And what happens is that wheel tilts out a little bit, and it looks really terrible on the tractor. So what I did was I put it back in the original shape, and I bought this clamp and made a plate in the bottom, and I'm hoping that that will keep the axle a little straight. So a little bit of a poor design for this company. Some of the other tractors, the steering is a pipe slide, a shaft slides into another shaft, so it can never sag. This is just not a very good design, but I'm not really blaming the tractor, because I'm going to stand back a little bit. Like, you see that big cavity right there? This tractor was actually made for 4-wheel drive, and it was bought as a 2-wheel drive. So that's quite a heavy loader on that. And with a 1,000-pound bale, that axle, it takes a real poop kicking. So I'm going to try to make it a little stronger with that. I think that'll work pretty good. And I'm going to put these brand new rubbers on it right here. So that's what I'm working at right now, until that sun breaks through a little bit. Probably should mow anyhow. I think the hay was still dry even if there wasn't sun. I'm just going to work here for about 30 minutes and see if the weather changes a little bit. Yeah, it's been raining so much, I'm a little gun shy, eh? So that's what I'm doing right now. I'll try to get this ready. Like I said, my cylinder should be back right here. Should be back on Monday. And we're just gonna work on this little girl for a while. And Lynn's still at the hospital because Aiden had some stuff done today that was quite serious, I guess. And she's with her son, and I'm on the farm with the 2 dogs and the sheep today. So I'm going to work on this for a while, and I still think I might start mowing hay in about 40 minutes, maybe an hour, start mowing it down. I can mow the whole field down in about an hour and 45 minutes, so I can still get it done before dark. See you then. I guess I'm going to go mow hay. You can feel the air is warm. The sun's kind of breaking out. I don't know if you can see that or not. A little bit of open sky there. So I'm going to give it a go. And hopefully I have some luck, because I haven't had very much luck lately. So I'm just going to wash my hands, and I'm going to finish those tires when we get back. And I'm going to give it a mow. So we are cutting hay. So as you see, the corn looks really good. I don't know if you can see that or not. So I'll turn it around. Corn looks really good. Size of the ears already. Good population on the seeds. A little space right there for some reason, but it's an old planter, so you have to give and take a little. But yeah, I'm calling that pretty good looking corn. It's all grain corn, so it'll be combined for the grain. So, cutting the hay, I thought the alfalfa was too coarse, but I'm actually wrong with that assumption. The alfalfa is probably right on the money. So, it's not all in flower, but it's just starting. It's not too high. If it's too high, you'll get that canopy in the bottom where the leaves start to disappear, and the canopy gets up higher, so you know it's got too coarse. But nope. I would say any sheep that doesn't want to eat that probably shouldn't be on the farm. So that's looking really good. Just started cutting. I don't know if you can see that. See? It's just starting to twist down a little bit. It's quite thick. So this is the field, remember, that was burnt off at the Roundup, and we had to come in last September, middle of August, and we had to reseed it. Turned out pretty good, actually. This is actually good, better than the first cut. The first cut was a little more sparse. It's more established, I think, now. And once I get in the field there, another 60 feet, we're going to hit the original stuff that was seeded down in the spring of the year with a cover crop with barley. So when I get to that position, we'll take a look at that to see if we see any difference. But yeah, extremely happy with this. There's your orchard grass right there. And you can see there's a little bit of orchard grass all over the place. It's a nice mix. Orchard grass and alfalfa work pretty good together. Some grasses don't work good with alfalfa because alfalfa can get quite aggressive and choke out the other grasses. But for some reason, they recommend orchard grass with alfalfa. And the orchard grass is only about 3 to 5%. If you go over 5%, you'll get too much orchard grass, and it'll start to do the opposite thing. It'll start to compete against the alfalfa. So we do about 3% minimum, 5% max on orchard grass. But I'm pretty happy with that. And that's my other field of corn right over there. It looks really good too. That's on my neighbor's property. The only thing that's not doing very well is the beans. The beans that were planted early are not doing the greatest. The beans that were planted later were doing fantastic. Figure that out. Yeah, but the corn looks good. I guess most people wouldn't complain about that cornfield. I mean, you gotta look at the consistency of corn, eh? Corn's a fantastic plant, eh? It's hardy, it's tough, it's pretty hard to have a bad crop of corn. But I'm thinking that feels almost as good as Iowa in the USA. And this is grown, which I think the Americans would call us back north. But that's a good crop of corn. I'm thinking that corn, if anybody wants to know, is about 2750 heat units, that corn. And I'm figuring if I'm looking at the ears, I'm probably going to yield out, easily 4 ton an acre, 4.2, 4.3 ton an acre, like always. That's going to yield out over 4 ton an acre of grain. I know most people measure by bushels, but I just do the tonnage. Kind of give or take, who cares? But I'll show you here the alfalfa. See, quite a nice canopy. So here's a sign here. You see how the alfalfa now is, the canopies went up a little higher, so now the bottom leaves are kind of falling off. Definitely shouldn't wait any longer, because that canopy is where all the protein is. So the bottom, you see, is becoming a little bit stocky now. Definitely should be cut down immediately. But I'm going to cut down the whole field today until supper time or dark, or whatever it takes me. And I'm hoping to take this whole field in on the weekend. So today's Thursday. It'll dry all day today. Probably dry on Friday. And maybe I'll start raking them up double on Friday evening or Monday or Saturday morning. So the reason why I quit right now, there is quite a difference in the hay. So the grass seed that was planted last fall is not quite as thick as the grass seed that was planted last spring. So it's the same year. The center of the field was planted in the spring, the outside of the field was planted in the fall. And there's a difference in the thickness of the hay. Now, the stuff that was planted, reseeded in the fall, was 80% alfalfa, and the spring grass seed was 70% alfalfa. That could have made a little difference, I don't know. The only difference I think would happen is I'll show you right here. The grass seed right here that was burnt off and replanted in September is not as thick as, there's a line right there. You see that line? That was the grass seed that was planted last spring. So the only difference I can see is all the grass seeds here, what we planted last fall, I'm thinking it's just not established yet. So it doesn't have a good root system yet. And that's why the spring grass seed over right here, see, you can see the difference. See the difference right there? That's the fall. That's the spring grass seed. Now there is a little more grasses in the spring seed because it was 70% alfalfa, 30% grasses. This field right here was, like I said, 80% alfalfa, 20% grasses. There's going to be more volume here. This is definitely way thicker. There is way more grasses, but it's definitely way thicker. So I'm thinking the only reason that would be is because the grass seed that was planted last fall probably didn't have a chance to get really good established before the winter months set in, whereas the grass seed in the spring probably had the whole summer to get established, and it was well prepared for the winter months, because we have to deal with a harsh winter in this country. And yeah, but I'm still extremely happy. Time will tell. I'm thinking that eventually this will become just as good as a spring seeding. It's just going to take longer to build up a good root system, a good sod base where it can catch up. Not complaining, but if it was to do it again, I'm definitely on board with putting grass seed in the spring on the ground with a cover crop. The hay's way better established. It's a no-brainer. Now, might turn around, but I'm still the guy that put grass seed down in the spring. I love it. It did a way better job. So I'm doing a lot of talking here, and I better get going. Well, here's a good example here. I'm going to talk again. See that hay in front of the mower? Which is heavier, that in front of that mower or behind the mower? That is a little thinner. Behind the mower is spring seeding, it's thicker. But that's what it is, and we're going to deal with it. I'm still pretty happy with it. Well, you can see that the spring grass seed is definitely way thicker. It's actually slowing the 130 horse tractor down a little bit. It's a way better crop. Yeah, definitely like the grass seed that was seed in spring. But it's beautiful stuff. Just thinking, I don't know if you can see that house in front of me. Right on top of that house there, a little in the sky, there's actually rain coming down. It's supposed to be sunny all day today, and it doesn't look like it's sunny at all. But yeah, I'm gonna get going here. I actually might cut half it down, and then I might go home and have a coffee and decide if I'm gonna cut another half down in the morning. But definitely extremely good feed. And all this hay is going to be wrapped at high moisture. It's not going to be at dry form. Hey guys. Like that green grass a little bit? Okay. A little treat for him. Change your salad a little bit. Hey, you like that? Oh, they're eating it. I mean, right now we might even have a shower. It's looking pretty dark. But the weatherman said we might have a few sprinkles. But nothing to no amount. So, but you can see up on the top of that house there, a little rough looking. But got a little extra hay I took home for the morning. A bit of alfalfa mix in there. Yeah, it's actually extremely nice stuff. Hopefully I don't lose it. I think now we're going to go, Lynn says we're going to have sloppy joes, whatever that means. Look at a little, just like we're in the tropics. Anyways. I think I'm going to go in and have myself a sloppy joe and a little drink.